But the other thing that surprised me is that they all have their own personalities.
Mhm.
I have some that are more confident. I have some that'll jump in my lap and just come right up to me when I enter the run. And then I have Fern, who I was just talking about, my Americana, and she's my flighty girl. Like, she is so drama. Anytime I try to catch her, she flies around the coop and she'll run through my leg. I mean, I should check the camera on the videos of me trying to catch her because I'm sure it's hysterical comedy.
Wait. Did you just say the video? You do not have a camera out there.
Girl, I have a camera in my coop and in my run.
Oh, okay.
Look, I just want to be able to sleep at night, okay? And if I can just make sure everybody's in their place, there's no predators creeping around their run at night, it just helps me sleep. Because look, I got menopause going on. That's already affecting my sleep. I don't need anything else to worry about at 3 a.m. Welcome to Drinks with the Girls. Conversations for women over 40 around connection, change, and the power of female friendship. Living well with stories to tell. I'm Karen, and this is Lisa.
We are moms and solopreneurs stepping into our own, diving into real conversations about things that matter to women in midlife.
We're here to spill the tea on everything that affects women in their 40s and beyond. Topics like loss and grief, changing relationships, launching kids, menopause, and reinventing ourselves in midlife. We are here to tackle it all.
Connect with us through a blend of our lived experiences, our friendship, the memory of our moms, plus a collection of real stories, honest conversations, and engaging interviews that will make women over 40 feel seen and remind them that they're not alone on this journey called life. Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Drinks with the Girls. This episode is going to be a little more fun and frivolous than some of our other episodes because today we'll be talking about chickens, and I'm not talking about recipes. Lisa and I have both embarked on the adventure of chicken keeping, me for the first time, and let's just say this is not Lisa's first rodeo with chicken tending. But before we really dive in, Lisa, what are you drinking today?
Okay, so this is the part where you get annoyed at me. I am having water with a watermelon fizz stick and some Mind Health supplement in there, and it's delightful.
Okay.
So, Karen, what are you drinking? And I think you need to tell everybody what the glass looks like, too.
Okay. I am drinking a glass of cool Chardonnay in my chicken wine glass. One of my chicken wine glasses that my daughter had made for me for Mother's Day. And I have 4 of them, and they have 4 of my favorite chicks on them. And sadly, this one is Rico. He is one of my roosters that I had to rehome. So I'm so glad that she chose him for one of my glasses because now I get to see him every day.
You don't have him anymore? I'm so sad.
Yeah, I had to rehome 2 of my roosters.
Oh, because
don't bring it up. It's
okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, I will not play Rico Suave on the end
Please
credits.
do not. Please do not.
I
It's still too
want to
soon.
make you sad. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So we'll take a sad beat there.
Yes, that's what I'm drinking.
So again, and that goes on the list of merch for Drinks with the Girls, right? Is like wine glasses. So, I'll get our merch department right on that.
Yeah, get them on that pretty quick.
I will. They're slackers. So what made you decide to get chickens, and how many do you have now?
Well, now I have 12. I used to have 14, but Rico and his friend Bruce had to go find other pastures. I have wanted to actually have chickens for years. I've always had the dream of a farm, animals, space. And about 3 years ago, we moved on to 3 acres, and the chickens just started, they do call chickens the gateway animal, and I totally understand why. So
I've never heard that. That's hysterical.
No? Oh, it's so true, right? It is.
Like,
they're totally the gateway animal.
Gateway to
gateway
what, though?
to more
like
animals.
Drug use? Like addiction? Like what?
The addiction of farm animals, because now I want alpacas and donkeys and goats and Highland cows and all the things. But
I want a mini Highland cow so bad.
I know. Instagram is not our friend when it comes to farm animals.
No, and tangent, one of those big, huge rabbits.
Yeah, those big rabbits kind of freak me out a little bit, honestly. But we considered getting rabbits because originally I wanted all these bigger animals, goats, donkeys, alpacas, whatnot, and it's like, now that we have these 12 chickens, it's like, holy crap, that's a lot of work and a lot of money,
Yeah,
and a
it
lot of
is.
energy. So the more animals you have, obviously the more work, the more money, the more energy. But we're like, maybe rabbits. Anyway, side note.
I
But
distracted you. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I
we seem
interrupted you and about the gateway animal. I'm sorry. Tangent. So what made you really decide to go for it this time?
So we moved on to 3 acres 3 years ago. And so the plan has always been to get a little hobby farm going. And we have kind of a small setup for that. And so my daughter, who's a second grade teacher, decided this year to incubate chickens in her classroom as her science fair project. And then I was going to take the chicks that were hatched. So that was the plan. And it was an incredible process, from ordering the chicks online from a hatchery in North Carolina, picking them up in the frickin' post office, their little eggs in the box, and they were all packed in there so safely. And then watching them every night on the chick cam, because we know we had a camera in her classroom so we could see what was going on. And then watching, honestly, the kids in her class they were just so excited and invested. Yeah. And so now we have 11 pullets and 1 rooster, and I am in chicken heaven. They're like my babies.
Okay. I have to ask this. Have you seen Abbott Elementary? The show?
No.
Okay.
And people keep asking me that.
Okay. The reason they keep asking you that is because there's an episode where they raise chickens in Janine's first grade classroom. It does not turn out the way you would think, because her buddy Melissa, who always gets stuff on the side, gets the chicken eggs for her rather. So I will not spoil the surprise, but you really need to watch that.
Oh my gosh, I'm scared.
It's all good. But yeah, no, it's very addictive. I'm not going to lie. So when we lived out on our farm, Karen knows this, we had 150 chickens, no lie. Now, 100 of those were meat birds, which I will never do again for a lot of reasons. And my husband fell head over heels with raising them. We actually sold the eggs. So I was teaching back then, and I would literally take standing orders from the staff for eggs. I thought we were luxury pricing at $3.75 a dozen, $3.50 with the return carton for free range chicken eggs. Bah ha 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 ha. It's got to be, I don't know, up here on sale. It's like $9.99 a dozen. What is it in California?
Wild. Yeah, similar, same.
It's bananas. So we just dipped our toe back in now that we are city folk, and we have the city limit of 6 that we raised from chicks this spring. So we will not be getting that crazy ever again. It was a lot, but it was good, while we did it. So I have to ask now, though, would you consider yourself a crazy chicken lady?
Oh, 100%. Shameless chicken crazy lady right here.
Damn.
Yeah. I want to talk about my chickens all the time, and people don't
No, not really.
When I went on my girls trip with my college girlfriends a few weeks ago, I'm all ready to give them all the details, and they're like, yeah, we don't really care. I mean, of course they didn't say that, but yeah,
they meant
it. I can read the room. It's fine. But I am 100% obsessed with them. And I will admit my chickens are spoiled, but we decided that if we're going to do this, I mean, we're empty nesters. We don't have any kids at home. So we decided we're going to do it. We're going to go all out. So our coop ended up being basically like a tiny home. I was laughing. My nephew was, anyway, I told my nephew, I'm like, you could live there. All you need is to hook up electricity. You're fine.
Do you seriously have misters? I mean, I've had apartments that are less bougie.
No, true. It's ridiculous when I think about it. It really is.
Wow.
Yes. When I was gone on my trip, my fiance installed misters. That's how I know I'm with the right guy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%. Wow.
How about you? Are you a crazy chicken lady?
I don't know that I'm a crazy chicken lady, because I have to spread the crazy in other forms of my life. I feel almost like we have to post pictures on the show notes of this episode, though, so everybody can see the various kinds of things we're talking about. But I want
to say I do not have wallpaper in my coop. I mean, I've seen some coops that have wallpapers and chandeliers and all that. That's where I draw the line.
Okay, so that's the hard line you're drawing.
Hard line.
Okay, well that's good to know. You have standards. Yeah, well, I suppose I could eat my words because it was 103 here yesterday, and we have kept ours in these small enclosures up until this point. We had a younger group, and that was a whole dog incident that we had to fix, a la New Goldfish style. But at any rate, we had a group of 4 and a group of 2, but it was getting super hot. And long story short, we got the parts for this enclosure, and just one thing or another, it just took forever. And so finally, when we hit that heat wave, we were like, we've got to get them out there. This is not good. So I spent a 12-hour day yesterday out there building the chicken enclosure. Why, you ask? Well, it started very well. My husband and I having a nice little bonding activity, doing it together. But by 2 p.m., his back went out. And so it was reduced to him fetching me ice water every hour. So I built the dang chicken coop. However, I just want to say this is the second animal enclosure I have built in my life using zip ties. I built horse stalls at our old farm. I've decided it's the greatest construction method of all time. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It took forever, but it was just so easy to do it. So what is your favorite thing about having chickens?
Well, I totally want to answer that question, but I want to say I am like bowing down to you, girlfriend, because let me just tell you, I did not have really any, not input. I didn't have any physical labor involved in my coop. Like I have the ideas and my man makes it happen. So I am celebrating you and just recognizing how freaking badass that is.
Similar to this podcast, we have a tradition of feel the fear, feel that I have no idea what I'm doing and do it anyway. So that was yet another example of that. So there you go.
I love it. So yes, my favorite thing about chickens. Okay, this is surprising. It was very surprising for me, and it might be surprising for people who don't have chickens, but they are incredibly soothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I will take breaks from my work day. I actually pencil it in as a work task because literally this is for my mental health. And so I'll take a break.
I love it.
I'll go into the coop and I'll sit with them. And by the way, this usually used to be my pool time, which I still do pool time, but now I have to split it up between pool time and chicken time. But
priorities.
I mean, I take self-care really freaking seriously. So I go onto the coop. And I just sit with them. Usually I'll bring treats because I want them to love me and I want them to snuggle with me. So I'll bribe them. And it just does something to my nervous system. Even if I'm just watching them, peck around, make their cute little noises. I mean, now that Paloma, who's now our rooster, we have to rename him because we thought she was a chick when we named her Paloma. But I don't know. We're just keeping Paloma. Anyway, now he's just crowing a lot. So it's not quite as peaceful as it was. But when he's not crowing and they're just making their cute little chicken noises and scratching around and oh my gosh, they're dust baths. Are you kidding me? That's the cutest thing ever. But it's like snuggling a dog or a cat. And I call it chicken therapy. And by the way, we will be having plenty of chicken therapy at my in-person retreat for women in October called Exhale. Sorry, shameless plug.
Show notes.
Yes, it's an opportunity for women to come and decompress, and the chickens will be part of the experience if you're into that kind of thing.
So chicken yoga is the new goat yoga is kind of what I'm hearing.
I don't know about that because a chicken jumping on your back, I mean, that doesn't sound, and I love my chickens, but I don't even know how that.
Goats have hooves too. So,
They do. And guess what? I went to goat yoga one time and this one goat just pooped all over this guy. He loved this guy so much. Anyway, so I don't know, maybe some iteration of chicken
form,
maybe not yoga,
of
something.
therapy.
Yes, something.
Well, I mean, like I said, I feel like I want to post pictures, but the new enclosure that we built, okay, hell, let's get real, that I built, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Is right outside my office. But right, I have a hammock swing out there. I plan on fully working remotely because I work remotely. Next to it, I call it Chicken Disneyland out there when the weather cools down. I love to hang out with them. And I liken it to the zen of staring at an aquarium with fish. It's the
Mhm.
same kind of concept, I think, personally.
Totally. I get that. Yeah. And I guess I didn't realize how much I would love these little creatures. I mean, I love them almost as much as I love my dogs.
I know. I know. They all have their own little personalities, right? So because we could only get 6, right? That was our Karen lives out in the boondocks. I don't anymore. I used to. So we all got pretty breeds and we got to pick them this time. So we have Buffy, Ginny, Bernadette, Betty, Maybelle, and Nugget. So those are the names of my chickens. Fair is fair. What are your chickens called?
Oh my gosh, this was so fun naming these chickens. And you have to remember, so 10 of these chickens, well, now I only have 8, but 10 of them were hatched in a second grade classroom. So of course, my daughter took a poll or had everybody write down what they thought, the name should be. So some of them came directly from 7-year-olds. So let's see, the big girls that we got at the peep show as babies. Yes, I love it. Our Buff Orpington, her name is Marilyn because she's blonde and voluptuous.
That's our Buffy.
Yes, we have Linda because she just right out of the gate was trying to just boss everybody around and just yell at everybody and make a scene. Listen, Linda, have you ever seen that video with the kid?
I
Listen,
haven't.
Linda.
I haven't, but
Linda.
I'm feeling a little behind the times here.
I'm going to send it to you. And then we have Sasha Fierce. And she, like her first few days of life, we thought she was going to be fierce. And now she's a little shyer. She's a little less confident. And then we have BB, who is our little bantam. So our little mini Cochin, little blondie. And she literally squawks all dang day. And then we have the other 10. Let's see. We have Sunny. We have Fiona. We have Paloma, who is now the rooster. We have
Palomar.
Kahlua.
You can call him Palomar.
Oh, there we go. That's a good one. We have Kahlua because we have 3 naked nucks. I have 2 now. I'm so not used to having
she's in chicken green.
Oh, it's hard. But our naked necks we named after cocktails. So we had Kahlua,
Nice.
We had Rita after Margarita, and then we had, what was the other one? Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
I'm glad you're setting the listeners straight because frankly, I was a little worried that the second graders came up with Kahlua. So
no, they did not.
Okay, that's good. My name is Lisa Corachella McDowell, and I'm not just a healthy smoothie girl. Check out nextlevellifewithlisa.com, my website and centerpiece for all that I do. Connect with me about my free classes, the fabulous health and wellness products I have, literacy work, special education advocacy, and social media. I try to live my truth and put it all out there authentically. And for a special offer, go to nextlevellifewithlisa.com/podcast for some exclusive goodies for my Drinks with the Girls listeners. See you there. Okay, what is your least favorite thing about having them? And I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
Oh my gosh. I worry about them all the time. Not so much as I used to, because let me tell you, my coop is like Fort Knox because of the way we built it.
Shocker.
I know, right? And because my man does not do anything half-assed. But the constant worry of a predator, because we have coyotes, we have hawks, we have owls. I know we have raccoons, but I haven't seen any in my neighborhood. But anyway, the constant worry of something happening to them. And by the way, all the crazy freaking things, bumblefoot, like what do bumblefoot, you don't even know what that is unless you have chickens, or pasty butt. I mean, the craziest things, or sauerkraut. So yeah, just a fear of something happening to them. And then also they just poop a lot. It's gnarly. I had no idea how much they pooped.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's very nasty and it smells if you don't have enough room, right? That's usually, that's one of the reasons I had to get mine out of those tiny enclosures. It was like, oh God. The other thing I like to do is put diatomaceous earth out there for them to do their little dust baths, right? That helps. It also keeps, I speak the words, but the brain doesn't follow. It helps with mites and other things like that. When we had our farm, there were constant predators, which was a nightmare. We had a chicken hawk. Sorry, it was a red-tailed hawk. Beautiful. But I swear to God, that thing thought it was a drive-through Chick-fil-A out there. And it was just, he would just pick them off. And he got our favorite rooster. And that was just like, oh gosh. So if I had it to do over again, so we had a chicken tractor that we kind of drag around the property with electric fencing that we move, but I'd probably get a guard animal like a llama or something like that because it was just too stressful to wake up and like count the bodies.
Oh man. See, and that's Tony and I joke that we're not mentally tough enough to be like real farmers because that whole circle of life thing, woof, the tough one. So what are some things people might not know about chickens?
Well, I'm so glad you asked because as head of the Drinks with the Girls research department, I can tell you there's some amazing research about chickens out there that we found. By the way, this is utter BS. We have no staff on this podcast. So yeah. Karen's like cracking up because she's like, what are you talking about? So number one, chickens are currently enjoying a tidal wave of popularity in the US as there are currently 85 million backyard or household chickens in the US today. They are the third most popular animal to keep as a pet in the US, which was actually really surprising to me. I would have thought like reptiles or amphibians, but nope, chickens.
Oh God, no way.
I know, right?
Reptile.
Right? There was a study done in 2017 by the journal Animal Cognition, which found that there's enough scientific and anecdotal evidence that chickens and roosters are social, intelligent, affectionate, and empathetic. There you go. And I tell you what, if you just do a simple Google search, it's insane, the articles that show up. And I mean, I'm talking about sources like Psychology Today, WebMD. I mean, they are in popular culture now, for sure. So I would say for me, other than the above, right, something I didn't know about chickens before I started raising them is how much better the eggs taste and how much better they are for you. I have a teenage boy in my house, so we are super excited for ours to start laying in a month, let me tell you. So how about you? What's something you didn't know?
Well, and you know what, to your point, number one, about how it's really popular right now to be having backyard chickens. I've seen so many, and I don't know their generation. Maybe they're millennials. They're like 30 somethings raising their young families. And they're really like trying to get off the grid. They're trying to be like self-sustaining, which is incredible. I'm here for it. But yeah, that's a cool stat. I love it. Something I did not know before being a chicken tender. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. You don't need a rooster to get eggs.
That's a common misconception. And I think I blame the cows because, you have to have pregnant cows to have milk. But yes, no, they lay the eggs.
Yeah.
You don't need the rooster.
Yeah. And, when I first started this whole journey, I joined all these Facebook groups, like all these, backyard chickens and
of course you did.
Rooster Allies and Fallbrook Chicken and Farms.
Wait, Rooster
no joke.
Allies? That's hysterical.
Oh, yes. I had to join that because I had all these roosters and I love them and I didn't know what to do with them. And they really helped me through a hard time.
My favorite story about Karen and the roosters is I think we were recording an episode and she's like, okay, I have to talk to you about roosters and chickens. And I'm thinking like, what is going on? She's like, I didn't know they were going to crow so much. I'm like, okay, what did you think that they were going to do? And she's like, well, I mean, I thought they'd crow, but not like this. I'm like,
not all damn day.
Yeah.
But I think that is a misconception as well. It's like they don't just crow at like 7 a.m. when it's time to wake up. Like our sweet Paloma has been crowing starting at 5:30 a.m. and he does not, like today, he has not stopped. Like, so I feel like something's wrong with him. I got to go check it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that's normal to crow because he hasn't crowed all day like that. But anyway, side note.
Interesting.
But yes, I did join all these Facebook groups because I am a Virgo and I like to know what the hell to do. I like to have a plan. I like to be prepared for all the things. But, I did not know that chickens are actual descendants of dinosaurs. Like there is scientific evidence that has proven the shared common ancestry between chickens and the T-Rex. Like who knew?
Isn't that super cool? I love that. Yeah, I've actually, so I don't know if y'all have seen the documentaries that are out lately. Kenneth Branagh narrated a few, but they do this whole like walking with dinosaurs thing. And they basically, it's pretty realistic looking. And then they just kind of reimagine them, right? And Kenneth Branagh comes on as the T-Rex stalks his prey, that kind of thing. But what's super cool is from what I've heard, the research that they found, like they found some specimens that had the beginnings of feathers or like coloration or something to that effect. So they used that to color the dinosaurs. And apparently there is some evidence that they have that link because they found some feathered fossils. So it's legit for sure, for sure.
That is so cool. And now that my rooster is developing, I definitely see the resemblance. But the other thing I did not realize is that chickens are omnivores. Like they don't just eat weeds and stuff like that. They pretty much eat everything. And in fact, we had a lizard that was stuck, poor guy, in our enclosure and he couldn't get out. And the chickens were just like, oh man, it wasn't pretty. So I had to, 911 to my man Tony, and he came out and rescued the lizard. And hopefully he was able to go on and I don't know, recoup. But yeah. So they are omnivores. Good. No, it was not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we throw all sorts of stuff to ours, and we did a lot more when we were on the farm. But you have to be careful because you got to make sure it's like fairly fresh stuff. You can make them sick, but ours love watermelon rinds. I threw them an overgrown zucchini the other day. That one of those zucchinis that hides, then all of a sudden it's like 6 feet long. But it's a nice way for things not to go to waste, for sure, for sure. What else?
Yeah, I did not realize that the whole pecking order thing is like actually a thing, but you can watch it in real time if you go sit in a chicken coop for a minute. You know who's the boss and you know the ones that are at the bottom too.
Yeah, for sure. We were actually a little worried about that when we let ours into the new enclosure last night when we finally finished at, oh God, 100.
You keep saying we. That's sweet.
I know. I like to think of it as a joint project, but I really, no, for sure. Well, he was there for that. He showed up for that, like back problems and all, but it's all good.
And he was supporting you. He was bringing you water. And
he was bringing me water. He was right there with me.
Yeah.
So at any rate, we have 4 and then 2. The 4 are a little older than the other one. One of our dogs got into the chicks. It was not a pretty sight. And of course we had to, like I said, goldfish it and get a couple new ones. At any rate, everyone kind of started over in the new environment. So it worked out really well because nobody was dominant. So we let them all out. And I was kind of surprised because the one that Maybelle was the one that was dominant before in the little group before, and she's like falling in line. So Betty is our Americana, and she's kind of a biatch. I gotta say, like I have to put her in her place sometimes, and she goes after the younger two, but she's not having it. She's now the kind of dominant one, which is interesting.
That is interesting. We have an Americana, and she's like a flighty drama queen. Drama. You even get close to her, and you'd think you were chopping her leg off.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the other thing that surprised me is that they all have their own personalities. Mm-hmm. I have some that are more confident. I have some that'll jump in my lap and just come right up to me when I enter the run. And then I have Fern, who I was just talking about, my Americana, and she's my flighty girl. Like she is so drama. Anytime I try to catch her, she flies around the coop and she'll run through my leg. I mean, I should check the camera on the videos of me trying to catch her because I'm sure it's hysterical comedy.
Wait. Did you just say the video? You do not have a camera out there.
Girl, I have a camera in my coop and in my run.
Oh, okay.
Look, I just want to be able to sleep at night, okay? And if I can just make sure everybody's in their place, there's no predators creeping around their run at night, it just helps me sleep. Because look, I got menopause going on. That's already affecting my sleep. I don't need anything else to worry about at 3 a.m. Hey, fabulous Drinks with the Girls listeners. Guess what? We have something exciting happening here at Drinks with the Girls. We have a way for you, our listeners, to be involved. You can be part of our Drinks with the Girls Pod Squad support team. Creating a sisterhood of empowered women is our goal, and we are so grateful you are here.
You can help us get the word out about Drinks with the Girls because we want all women to feel the support of a powerful community behind them. Here's what you need to do. Get in touch with one of us via email and let us know you want to be an official part of the Drinks with the Girls Pod Squad. Go to your favorite podcast platform and subscribe or follow Drinks with the Girls if you haven't already. Every month, we need you to share. Share
with a girlfriend via text, share to your email newsletter, share on your socials, share from the rooftops. The more you share, the more chances you have to win fabulous prizes at the end of every month. Simply send us a screenshot every time you share. Every share is a chance to win. So the more you share, the more chances you have to win each month.
Here are some of the awesome prizes available. A coupon code for $100 off a 4-month coaching package with Karen. A discount coupon towards your favorite Arbonne health and wellness products with Lisa. A spot on the podcast. A 60-minute goal setting session with Karen. A 30-minute prep session for your child's upcoming IEP meeting with Lisa. 30-day midlife self-care journal PDF. And the list goes on.
We are so excited to have you as part of the Drinks with the Girls Pod Squad support team. And we are excited to see who wins each month because after all, we're all in this together. Cheers.
Cheers. And you are the queen of self-care and doing what you need to do. So I will stop shame you for your misters and your chicken cam. My God. Well,
thank you.
You're so welcome. Yes. So yeah, no, they definitely have their own little identities. Ours are super tame and they're getting more tame, which is kind of cool. And now that they're out in the enclosure, like they love it. And so I'm really excited to kind of hang out with them a little bit more for sure. Okay. So what other facts do you now know about chickens that you didn't know?
Okay. They can recognize, which I call bullshit on this. It's a lot, but okay. I'm here to check it out, but they can recognize over 100 faces, including family members, which, this gives me hope because I'm trying to bond with these chickens because I want them to actually remember me as a crazy like chick treat lady because I want to pick them up and hold them and snuggle them. And so I look them in the face and I tell them, you will love me.
I have not run this by the Drinks with the Girls research department, so I cannot verify whether that fact is actually true, but that definitely seems like a lot. But I mean, food is the great equalizer, right? Like there's literally a cottage industry out there that's grown up over this and the marketing is crazy, right? I mean, when marketing makes fly larvae sound appetizing, that is just next level for sure. Like I saw one, it was like larvae for ladies.
Oh my God. Okay. No, that's a hard no. But I have to tell you, I have a bag of fly larvae in my coop that I put in my hands and feed to my chickens. And like, I never would have done that a year ago. I'm sorry, fly larva, gross.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
It is dried though for the listeners, just so you know. It's not like, ugh.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, they love the live ones. Grubs and all that. Yep. They do. They do. You laugh, but I'm telling you, you're going to find some someday and be like, oh my God, the girls are going to love this. I promise.
Yeah, totally. Hey, did you know that chickens can sleep with one eye open?
What?
Yes. They have this thing called USWS, Unihemispheric Slow Wave Sleep.
That's definitely from the Drinks with the Girls research department right there.
Oh yeah, they were working hard on that one.
Yep.
But we don't have it as humans. And so what happens is half of their brain is sleeping while the other half is awake. So they can literally sleep with one eye open. And this is an evolutionary adaptation that lets them watch for predators while they're sleeping, which I think is freaking amazing.
Okay, my son used to sleep like that when he was little with both eyes kind of partially open sometimes. Oof. Freaked me
No, I've seen
out.
That, yes. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's part chicken. That would explain a few things, actually.
Yeah. Yep. So, but they're so hysterical. I've learned that they are total followers. Like they get FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
They're extremely curious, but also very cautious. And I get it. Like the whole sleeping with one eye open thing, like they are literally the bottom of the food chain. They have so many predators. So, I mean, I understand why they're so kind of like, hysterical whenever I pop in the run. But it cracks me up anytime we take something new to them. Like the first time I took them watermelon. So I take it and I put it in the center of the run and they all just like back up. They all just like flank the walls of the run.
It's a bomb.
Right. And they're staring at it like, what the hell is she doing? What is she bringing us now? And you can tell they're curious, but they don't want to get near it. And then I have, my couple more confident ones who will just go up and just start pecking at it. And then everybody else realizes, oh, it's okay. They're fine.
It's not a bomb.
Exactly.
One of my kids' favorite movies growing up was Chicken Run. Hysterical. So, I mean, Mel Gibson is a rooster. Like, what's not to like, right? So, do you know, have you seen it?
I haven't, but it makes me want to.
Okay. Oh my God. Rent it right now for the love of God, or stream it. Rent it. God, it sounds like it's so old. But it's the same claymation folks that did Wallace and Gromit. And I tell you what, I thought that they got the various personalities of the chicken so spot on. You're gonna love it. It also the other person in it that stars is Saffron Burrows. Are you an Absolutely Fabulous fan?
No.
Wait, what?
I mean, I'm not a fan. I just don't know what that is.
Oh, oh my God, she's not
What is it?
seen it. Okay,
Is
write
it a
it down
show?
right now. Yes, Absolutely Fabulous. It's a British TV show with Joanna Lumley and Jennifer Saunders. How is the show not coming? Oh my God. Okay.
No.
I now
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
You now have your streaming recommendations for the week. All the
Okay.
seasons of Absolutely Fabulous and Chicken Run. You will
Got it.
not be disappointed.
Check.
And we'll have to save that for our episode on great binges, and you can like let everybody know. But it's great. Oh my gosh. I almost like want to experience it with you. You're gonna have so much fun.
You can rewatch it with me.
That sounds good. There's an episode, right? Kind of like
Is it a series or is it a show?
so Wallace and Gromit. Chicken Run is a movie. Absolutely
I know that.
Fabulous is a series. But they did do a movie, which is also hysterical. But I will just say there's one. I can't even say it because it's just not like appropriate if I say it out loud, but you're just going to love it. They're hysterical.
I am so inappropriate. Like,
oh, no. You're going to be like we're so off script. No, you seriously have to watch it. It's
okay.
Oh my God. You're going to cry. It's so funny. Oh, okay.
My name is Karen Shatafian, and I am a shameless coffee addict and empowerment coach for women, and my love language is authenticity. My mission is helping women in midlife unapologetically design a life they're in love with. My website, KarenShatafian.com, has all my coaching packages and juicy things I have coming up, like my in-person retreat called Exhale in October 2024. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram talking about ways women can show up for themselves after decades of showing up for everyone else. Join me as we throw off the shackles and live our best freaking lives. Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you know what all their little noises mean? Because like after observing them, because I sit with them for a long time and I listen to them, but they have their own little language. Like certain sounds mean certain things. And I've been meaning to like Google it and look it up because I really want to understand chicken talk.
Let's consult the Drinks with the Girls research department, shall we?
Yes, please.
Okay. According to the East Sussex Smallholders Farm in the UK, yes, that exists, there are 3 basic sounds. You ready? The cluck, which is a standard everyday sound, usually indicating contentment or a casual conversation between hens. The purr, apparently they purr.
Yes.
It's a low rumbling sound, often heard when they're settled, they're feeling safe. And then there's the growl. And apparently if you hear a growling sound, there's a chance your hen is annoyed or feels threatened. I've heard it when Betty's gone after the new one. So it might happen if somebody invades their personal space. And if you become more fluent in chicken speak, there's even a next level. Are you ready for it?
Ready.
There's an egg song.
I've heard of this.
Yes, the song. It's a series of
I can't wait to hear that song. Come on, girls.
It's a series of loud clucks and sometimes squawks that a hen and sometimes the whole flock will make after laying an egg, like a mini celebration.
Shut the front door. I love this.
Yep.
Women supporting women, yo.
Right? Hello. There are alarm calls when something isn't right. That's why I'm wondering if there's something going on with your rooster. Because, yeah. So it says high-pitched, urgent. They will serve as a warning for potential danger. And then there's also broody growls or hissing. So if a hen is being broody and sitting on eggs, she might make a growling or hissing sound when you approach.
Yeah.
Just being protective.
Mama bear.
Yes, exactly. So they recommend talking to your chicken, so you're way ahead of the curve here, in a calm, reassuring tone to foster trust. So apparently there is more to this whole crazy chicken lady thing, and you're just pressing it ahead of your time.
Look, I already lead them in meditation and journaling exercises, so I'm just kidding. I don't.
Hey, Karen got me to journal, so she can get me to journal. She can get anybody to journal.
If I can get you to journal, I can get chickens to journal.
Okay, thank you.
Joke.
I'm so glad. That's how difficult it was.
Girl, you were tough.
Yeah, long story for another episode. Anyways,
so seriously, what do chickens bring to your life? Like, how do they enrich your life, if at all? Because I understand there were people who raised chickens for food, and you did that. You had meat birds, And I 100% respect and I actually admire that. I wish I didn't see animals as pets and that I could raise animals for food because our freaking food industry is horrific. And I think for the animals and for us, I don't think the food industry in the United States is healthy at all. And it certainly isn't humane for the animals. It's traumatic. So to be able to homestead, raise my own animals organically and ethically, knowing that everything they eat is healthy, so then everything that we eat is healthy, and then know that when you're able to humanely process them, they're not living in trauma and their end days are not traumatic. I don't know. This is kind of getting a little deep, but I feel like there's such a better way to go. I wish I could do that. But at 55, it's just something I can't do because it challenges my values, which sounds just kind of weird. But to the question, how do chickens enrich your life?
So I want to back up to something you said there. Have you read The Omnivore's Dilemma?
No.
Okay. You may not want to read it, but it's all about like the ethics of raising
Yeah.
food and all that, right? So they
Yeah.
talk about that. I mean, honestly, I think that's, to your point, I think that's why backyard chicken farming has blown up. I think that's why
Yes.
people are much more interested in knowing where their food comes from. I mean,
Yes.
we have farmers markets now, we have CSAs. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of ways to do that, even if you live in a big city. I have a pretty big vegetable garden now, but I didn't always have one. And we have some CSAs. We actually
What
found
does CSA mean?
it means community supported agriculture. So you pay in a certain like amount every week and then you get a share. So it's very seasonal, right? But there's also
Like meat,
ones for
meat
meat.
or vegetable? Meat. Yes.
Both. You could yeah, they do them all over the place and it just kind of depends. I will say that the meat one took us quite a while to source. There's some good companies online. ButcherBox is one I can think of. They're also a certified B Corp, but for various reasons it just didn't work out with us and we wanted something that was a little bit more local. But if you talk to your agricultural department in the county, they can usually point you in the right direction. But that, again, that is the whole concept behind all
Yeah.
this, is people
I
really
love
want to
it.
know more about where their food is coming from,
Yes.
how their animals were treated. Have you heard of a woman named Temple Grandin?
No, I have not.
Okay, so Temple Grandin was famous for a lot of things. She was one of the, shall we say, let me see how I want to say this. She is on the autism spectrum. And one of the things that she did was really be able to articulate what it's like to be on the autism spectrum. And so she's written a series of books and was pretty famous for that. But by trade, she redesigned the whole cattle industry because
Mm.
she figured out that the way we were processing cattle was completely traumatizing and to the point where
Yes.
the meat tasted differently. And
Exactly.
so, so she figured out, long story short, and there's a really good movie Claire Danes did of her biography that did a great job. So I'm all
Oh,
about the
I
movie
wanna see
recommended.
that.
Yeah,
I wanna see that.
I can't remember what the heck it's called. I think her book is called Thinking in Pictures, I believe. But yeah, just Google Claire Danes, Temple Grandin.
Mhm.
But at any rate, she was able to kind of understand how they felt. And so, long story short, she designed a processing facility that instead of like these chutes and loud noises and everything, the whole thing is based on like a curve, like a snail shell.
Mhm.
And then they're sorted and then it just gets smaller and smaller. And then they just walk in it because they're calm and they're
Mhm.
not in a traumatized place when they are butchered. So I mean, I think to your point, people have started asking questions about that, right? And
Mhm.
it's like everybody loves their, $2 steaks from Costco, but how is
And
that animal lived?
and that's the thing that pisses me off about this whole thing is that because I've started looking into getting, and I don't know the right terminology because I'm barely scratching the surface and all this, so you can educate me, but I am I want to get my meat from local farms that do raise them in this way that you're talking about ethically and that they're processed ethically, and it's so expensive.
Yeah.
That's the thing
Yeah.
really is, and that's what keeps people because, people like me, it's like, I wanna do the right thing. I have these values, right? I believe in the ethical treatment of animals, even though I'm gonna eat them. but let's do it in a way that's healthy for people. But man, when you make it so freaking expensive and unattainable, it's just ridiculous. So I get all these millennials or whoever they are, Gen Zers, Gen whatever's, yay, props to them because they're figuring it out and they're doing it for themselves. And I'm in awe.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Meatless Monday made its appearance. My company that I have my business with, everything's vegan. And there's nothing wrong with doing vegetarian or vegan once a week. They say that'll save the planet. And then, of course, there's people that have gone completely vegan and vegetarian. And like I said, my company, all their stuff is vegan. But there are ways to do it. I have found with the CSA and the local farms that it basically is equivalent to buying it at a store. And you cut out the middleman and you're supporting a local farm and you're not paying to transport them on giant trucks. So you're not going to save money by doing it that way, but you definitely get a better quality product and you know where it's coming from. And again, like you're supporting local agriculture. So
yeah,
I think we've done it again and we've gone over on our time on this episode. And of course, we've gone into a totally new topic, veganism. No, it's all good. And ethical animal raising. So what we may need to do is wrap this up.
So Lisa, how do chickens enrich your life?
So I am looking forward to the enriching. It's been a very busy spring around my house. So it's basically been about keeping them alive up until this point and getting kids to do chores and things like that. So I am looking forward to this new stage of looking at them out my office window, hanging out in the hammock to do some remote work Zooms with my chickens. And I am really looking forward to that piece. One thing I really miss about when we used to have them on the farm is the eggs. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. And it's just like grass-fed beef in the sense that they're much better for you. They have higher levels of omega-3. So I'm looking forward to the health benefits. I'm looking forward to not paying $12 for a package of organic eggs. That's for freaking sure. And just having more animals to hang out with. My son the other day, he came out to help us, us. Again, there's that us about the enclosure, right? And he was going to help us because he's taller than me since I'm the smallest person in our family. And he goes, Mom, yeah. He goes, this side of our house, I should explain, we live on a cul-de-sac. And long story for another episode, we fenced our front yard in. Again, some of you guys know my son has got developmental delays. He's on the autism spectrum. And so he was eloping and he was running out on the street. And we have fairly busy street. And so we got a grant to fence it. Long story. At any rate, so we have like double the yard because of that, because our front yard is actually our backyard. And that's where I have most of my gardening space. So I hit the wall because there's so much lawn. And I'm like, I'm sick of mowing. My husband has massive grass allergies, so he can't do it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's bad for the environment. Stop the madness. So I literally have reduced our lawn probably 3/4 at this point between the backyard and the front yard. And the last piece was putting in this massive garden in a raised bed. So my son was like, we're kind of starting up the farm again, Mom. And I looked at him and he's like, well, just in a smaller way. And I was like, yes, baby, we are. I think it's really, really cool. So I'm excited because our old farm used to be called Peaceable Kingdom Farms. And it's kind of having a bit of that. We still have an animal left from our Peaceable Kingdom Farms Day. We have my old lady cat, Elfie, short for Elphaba from Wicked, who's 14 years old. So we still kind of have that. And I feel like we've taken the best pieces of that part of our life and incorporated it in a lot of new ways. So I'm just really looking forward to kind of having that connection to the earth that was such a part of our life out there. So I'm super excited.
That is so sweet too. And look at what it instilled in him. Like he's kind of excited. And now he's probably at the age where he can be involved and help and do the things and all of that. And I think that's so sweet. I mean, yeah, I love that part about animal keeping, whatever animals they are, because kids really, I think, resonate with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like for me, I feel like besides what I've already said, chickens are just a fun addition to our family and it gets me back to nature.
Yep.
The ocean is usually my go-to, but now that I don't live near the ocean, this has really been good because it gets me outside and in the dirt. And it's really helped me reinvent myself at this stage in my life, like at 55. I didn't know anything about raising chickens and incubating and hatching chickens. That's a whole challenge in itself, but it was a dream that I had. And I just went for it and I figured it out along the way. And I allowed myself to be a learner and be okay not knowing everything. And it was kind of scary because I had these little lives in my hand and I'm like, oh my God, I just don't want to kill them.
And that's, I think, part of our an enduring theme on this podcast is being a lifelong learner, having a dream, executing it, whether it's ugly or messy or whatever. I mean, that was kind of how this podcast was born. So I love that for you. And I think that I think they're a wonderful connection to the earth. And I'll be interested to hear from our listeners, like how many of you guys have chickens or have wanted to have chickens? How many of you guys have things that you want to add just in terms of where chickens fit into your life? I know that there are people that raise chickens that are vegan and they don't raise them for eggs. And there's all sorts of different tangents on this that we haven't explored. So we'll be interested to hear what you guys say, please. So email us at drinkswiththegirlspodcast@gmail.com. Check out the links in the show notes about some various things. And yeah, Karen, anything else you want to add for our listeners?
No, I'm curious to see if any of you, what your experience is with chickens and, not just how they taste on your plate. But yeah, I'm new to this whole thing. And I feel like a 6-year-old at Disneyland, right? And so I just want to see, does anybody feel me? Is everybody laughing at me like Lisa? Come on, let me know.
I'm not laughing at her, but I'm just telling you, if her significant other is willing to put misters in and swings, like I might need to export him up to Oregon so he can do it for me,
Oh my gosh, girl, let me just tell you, yes, I have a lot of women in my life that I need to rent him out to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, that's it for this episode of Drinks with the Girls. I'm going to say cheers.
Cheers.